What's the real story behind Aunt Viv being replaced on The Fresh Prince? Which cast member on Frasier was the biggest prima donna? Behind all the smiles and life lessons, TV families often have as much drama as real families. It wasn't all lovely ladies with golden curls on the set of The Brady Bunch, especially when Maureen McCormick and Eve Plum were shooting together as sisters Marcia and Jan, respectively.
Well, all I hear all day long at school is how great Marcia is at this, or how wonderful Marcia did that. Marcia, Marcia, Marcia!
As McCormick revealed in her 2009 memoir, Here's the Story, Plum resented her for, quote, getting too much attention. And it only became worse as the kids grew up. Susan Olsen, who played youngest Brady's sister Cindy, told Fox News in 2009 that McCormick and Plum were eventually no longer on speaking terms, to the point that whenever we get together for any project, there will only be one or the other. As Olsen further explained, Eve got tired of Maureen gaining attention for herself by regurgitating the tiresome and false insinuations that they had a lesbian affair. Fortunately, like most Brady stories, this one ultimately has a happy ending, as the on-screen sisters had a chance to settle their squabble in the HGTV miniseries A Very Brady Renovation, which premiered in 2019. As Plum admitted to E! It had been a really long time since we had all been together, and it's really cool to see who people are today and what they're doing. It's awesome. It's so nice to reconnect with people that you care about. Who can forget the public spectacle that was Charlie Sheen's exit from 2.5 Men? It should come as no surprise that his fire burned a few bridges along the way. The exact timeline of his departure from the show is unclear, but it undeniably reached a head when he called creator Chuck Lorre a clown and a turd while calling into Alex Jones's radio show. Shortly afterwards, Sheen was fired from the sitcom. And the punches didn't stop there. After his firing, Sheen went on to tell E! News that his on-screen brother, John Cryer, was, quote, a turncoat, a traitor, and a troll. Cryer apparently hadn't been outspoken enough in favor of Sheen after his firing, and Sheen also claimed that he hadn't reached out to him, although Cryer claimed otherwise. But it seems that there are no hard feelings too tough to forgive among TV families, as Lorre later told Entertainment Tonight that he didn't feel like he and Sheen were ever in a feud.
I felt like he was my friend. I really loved the guy.
Cryer, meanwhile, had more mixed feelings about his time with Sheen. As he put it in his memoir, So That Happened, to some, Sheen was a rebel, a truth-teller willing to poke his masters in the eye. Of course, Charlie wasn't those things. He was simply lashing out at the people who told him the party was over. The WB series Charmed was anything but, at least not behind the scenes. If anything, this late 90s, early 2000s drama about three magical sisters was rather cursed. Shannon Doherty and Alyssa Milano played two of the sisters, and they grew to have a real-life beef so big that it led to Doherty's departure from the show. As Milano recounted to E! News in 2020, there were times when I'd come in and say, "Good morning, Shannon," and she didn't say anything to me. And there were times when she'd come in and say, "Good morning, Alyssa," and I wouldn't say anything to her. For Doherty, the routine silent treatments weren't worth the paycheck. As she told Entertainment Tonight in 2001, "I'm 30 years old, and I don't have time for drama in my life anymore." With any family infighting, time passes, people grow, there are regrets, and hopefully there are amends. As Milano later admitted to Entertainment Tonight in 2021, "I can take responsibility for a lot of our tension." Likewise, Doherty is letting bygones be bygones, as she put it on a 2015 appearance on Sway in the Morning. Are there times that were rough? Yeah. I think that when you work that closely together, there's always going to be times that are rough.
Sometimes you don't always get along with the person 24/7 that you work with.
While Steve Urkel technically had no blood relation to the Winslow family on Family Matters, he was at their house so often that he deserves an honorary spot at the table. And the irate responses to him from the Winslows on the show may not have been too far from what was going on behind the scenes. On a 2021 episode of TV1's Uncensored, Urkel actor Jaleel White rehashed some of the early tension between himself and the older actors on the show. As he put it,
"I was not welcome to the cast at all. They know what it was. I didn't think anything of it being cast to be on Family Matters because it was supposed to only be a guest spot, one and done."
As the story goes, the other actors bristled when the network shifted much of the show's focus over to Urkel. As reported by Entertainment Weekly, there was one particularly notable occasion that also involved Reginald VelJohnson and Jo Marie Payton, who played the Winslow parents. White had to put on a dress, and two older actors pressured him against wearing it. As White recalled, they were very sensitive to putting black men in dresses. But over time, the familiarity among the cast improved. According to White, Vel Johnson and Peyton do deserve credit at times for having helped foster a more harmonious environment. And we did become very much a family. Isn't that the best any family, real or fictitious, can hope for? On The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Aunt Vivian may have had the run of the mansion, but behind the scenes, Will Smith was definitely the top dog. Viewers may recall the jarring recasting of Aunt Viv, originally played by Janet Hubert, who was replaced by Daphne Maxwell Reid in the 4th season. And it wasn't exactly a smooth transition for the rest of the cast. In a 2020 interview on WABC's Here and Now, Hubert discussed her departure from Fresh Prince. She explained that she wasn't fired, but rather that she rejected her contract renewal in the hopes that the network would return with a better offer. Instead, they replaced her, though she wasn't surprised. In her eyes, the production team seemed to have it out for her. As she put it, "They told me I had to go into my dressing room in between takes because I wasn't laughing at Will's jokes." She even went so far as to claim, "The cast was offered money to take me down." Hubert had a chance to confront Smith on a Fresh Prince reunion that aired on HBO Max in 2020. She didn't hold back.
"I had been banished. And they said it was you who banished me."
He then offered an apology. He reflected further on the experience during the Red Table Talk interview as he admitted that he was shaking during their conversation.
That's not who I want to be, and It's not how I want to make people feel.
Hopefully, Smith makes the most of this second chance. The Jackson brothers on the NBC sitcom were known for their bickering, just like any siblings who ultimately loved each other. But behind the scenes, it was a little more violent, as Todd Bridges reportedly slapped Gary Coleman, although Coleman reportedly cast the first palm. Bridges, who played older brother Willis, recounted the story of this backstage fight in his 2010 autobiography, Killing Willis. Bridges felt that Coleman was getting too egotistical as his character Arnold was gaining popularity among the fans. According to Bridges, Coleman would always have an obnoxious comeback to everything that was said around the set. On one occasion, when he couldn't come up with a comeback, he slapped Bridges, who then slapped him back. Unlike some of the feuds on this list, this one sadly does not have the chance for a reconciliation. Each of the 3 young leads, Bridges, Coleman, and Dana Plato, struggled with their fame after the show's conclusion. Plato died of an overdose in 1999, while Coleman passed away in 2010 after enduring financial struggles that led to him declaring bankruptcy. Bridges, who dealt with his own drug addiction, is now the only surviving member of the original main cast. He's doing better though. As he put it during a 2016 appearance on the Dr. Oz show, "I love life now. Life is the best thing in the world." It's hard to forget Roseanne Barr's explosive exit from the revival of her eponymous ABC sitcom in 2018. But just in case you forgot, here's a quick refresher. Barr tweeted about former Obama administration advisor Valerie Jarrett, in which she linked her to the Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes. She was then subsequently fired by ABC for the remark. The rest of the cast narrowly avoided a complete cancellation when Roseanne was rebranded as the spin-off series The Connors. In response to Barr's tweet, Sarah Gilbert, who plays Roseanne's daughter Darlene, tweeted in response, "Roseanne's recent comments about Valerie Jarrett and so much more are abhorrent and do not reflect the beliefs of our cast and crew or anyone associated with our show. I am disappointed in her actions, to say the least." Barr responded in turn as she claimed that Gilbert, quote, "destroyed the show and my life with that tweet." Despite this rocky episode, The Connors has gone on to flourish on ABC. And ultimately, it would seem that just like in real life, some family disputes are irreconcilable. For the most part, the cast of Frasier appears to have been entirely amicable with each other. The human cast, that is. As for family pup Eddie, he was actually portrayed by 2 different canine actors. He was originally played by a Jack Russell Terrier named Moose, but he came to share the role with his son Enzo as he got older. Often enough, family and business just don't mix, and that was certainly true on the set of Frasier. In an interview on the show Animal Magnetism, Enzo's trainer, Mathilde Ducani, revealed,
"Moose and Enzo's relationship is so bad that they can't even be in the same room together."
Moose may be more to blame, as Ducani explained that before he was an actor, his owners gave him up.
He had been nothing else but a terror.
The interviewers then connected the bristling relationship between Moose and Enzo to the equally difficult one between human father and son duo Frasier and Martin Crane. Sadly, Enzo and Moose have both since passed. Now that their on-set days are over, hopefully they've reconciled in doggy heaven. It's easy to over-romanticize an iconic classic sitcom like The Andy Griffith Show, and certainly Griffith himself surely wanted audiences to have that feeling. As he put it in a 1996 Today Show interview, "It was of a time gone by." But despite the simple times in front of the camera, there was drama behind the scenes. For the most part, the set of Mayberry seems to have been as blissful as the show made it seem. But one bit of trouble in paradise stemmed from the difficult relationship between Griffith and his castmate Frances Bavier, who played Aunt Bee. Ron Howard, who played Andy's son Opie, discussed his memories of making the show during an interview with the Television Academy. As he put it, "I don't think she felt a part of what these boys were up to in their shenanigans." While the cast has managed to keep relatively tight-lipped about any unpleasant feelings, Griffith did reveal some details about his relationship with Bavier during an interview with Ralph Emery on the show On the Record. As he recalled, she wasn't always in real great shape, emotionally. But toward the end of Bavier's life, Griffith called her and made amends. As he recounted, "I hadn't talked to her in a long time. She said, 'I'm sorry we didn't get along better.' She said, 'It was my fault.'" Hopefully, this clearing of the air gave Bavier some degree of peace. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about your favorite TV shows are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.